In today's Final Touch, this is not a sight you want to see when you open up your grill.
A couple of pythons did not faze a brave elderly Australian woman. 81-year-old Faye Morgan encountered the snakes and calmly pulled them out, dumping them into a plastic container before the lid was shut tight by her granddaughter's father-in-law. Local media reports Morgan has spent her whole life on a farm, no stranger to snakes. She told the snakes, "I said goodbye to them and said, I hope you have a lovely life when I relocate you."
Oh, that's wonderful. Very calm.
What's for dinner, Grandma? That's our time for now. We'll see you back here tomorrow. News Street 5 starts right now.
Right now at 5, the city of Madison leaders preparing for more rains in our area. We'll tell you how.
Plus, evacuations are underway in June County after some areas saw over 11 inches of rain overnight and more this afternoon.
And Sauk County officials are preparing for a delayed reaction of flooding from the Baraboo River.
This is News 3 at 5.
Thanks for staying with News 3. Another round of severe weather sweeping through the area.
Let's get a look at your first alert forecast right now. Dave Caulfield is in the Weather Center. Dave?
What?
All right, we're obviously having some issues
we're trying to get his
with Dave's mic.
microphone.
We'll go back to him in just a moment to get the very latest on the forecast, because it is very important and it's something to keep an eye on. And this is on top of the already historic flooding of just a week ago. More rain coming today, and Madison leaders here in Dane County have been preparing for more to fall over the next 24 hours.
Mayor Soglin says if necessary, city officials have an evacuation plan in place, but they're hoping that it doesn't reach that point. Our Rose Schmidt is in the news center to tell us what you need to know. Rose?
Well, Mayor Soglin says if we were lucky to dodge the rain last night that hit areas north of us, but businesses and people who live on the isthmus should not get complacent. They should get valuables out of the basement, get sandbags, have electronics charged, and keep out of the floodwaters.
We can't control the weather.
But if they could, I think it's safe to say city leaders would wish for no more rain.
If we can get through the next 24 hours, and with little prospect of rain over the next week, we may be out of this, at least in terms of concerns about additional flooding.
The main concern Tuesday and Wednesday will be the blue and purple areas on the city's flood risk map.
As everybody knows right now, City Madison is just in kind of a holding pattern, waiting to see what comes downstream.
John Hosbeck is seeing an influx of people coming to Public Health Madison and Dane County, looking to test their well water and preparing for what comes after the floodwaters recede.
The rule of thumb that we give people is if you can dry out flood damage within 24 to 48 hours, you're pretty assured that you're not going to have mold problems.
He says the action you should take depends on the material affected and how much mold there is. If your entire basement is covered, for example, it might be time to call a restoration company.
If people got flooded right away and that water stayed up, I'm sure that they're probably seeing mold growing in different spots, and that's unfortunate, but it's not the end of the world. It can be taken care of.
But while we can't control the rain events,
We're facing the most critical one since the events of a week ago Monday.
we can hope for the best.
Hopefully, Mother Nature will be kind to us and not, give us another deluge of rain, but we'll have to wait and see.
Dane County staff members are planning on releasing some more water out of the Tenney Dam tomorrow. That means the water levels on the isthmus will increase tomorrow regardless of the weather, so don't panic if you see that.
Good to know. Rose Schmidt in the newsroom. Thank you, Rose. There are still roads closed in Dane County from last week's flooding. Parts of East Johnson, East Main, East Mifflin Streets, and Marston Avenue in Madison remain closed. Highway 14, as well as parts of County Roads KP, J, G, and W are also closed. So far, there have been more than 1,200 reports of damage in Dane County.
All right, we got Dave's mic situation worked out. Let's go get the latest on what's happening out there. Dave, what a busy afternoon we've already had.
Oh, yeah, already over the last couple of hours, we've seen tornado warnings, more flash flood warnings, also severe thunderstorm warnings. All are still possible as we head into later this evening. As that cold front dips a little bit farther south, the severe threat and also the flash flooding threat dips with it. So we're starting to see that line of showers and thunderstorms north of Madison to the south and west start to fill in a little bit. That will bring some heavy rain to the east over the next 30 minutes to an hour. Our first round of severe weather has moved almost close to the shores of Lake Michigan, but still some heavy rain in Dodge County. So here are the bulletins right now. We could see that severe weather heading closer to Sheboygan and east of Watertown. No severe thunderstorm warnings for south central and southern Wisconsin right now, but that could change. Still a very unstable environment, and that severe thunderstorm watch for much of the area goes until 9 p.m. this evening. So as I mentioned, starting to see that line, that secondary line now of showers and thunderstorms start to fill in closer to Lone Rock, in between Lone Rock and Platteville. So we're watching that very closely. And I mean, everybody knows we do not need any more rain. You could see that stripe of about 5 to 10 inches plus, some areas reporting more than a foot of rain over the last 24 hours alone. This doesn't even take into account the last 2 days. It's just for the last day. So here's a little bit of a wider view. So much data coming in to our radar. So a couple of the pictures here may be a little bit on the slow side to come in, but we could see that there is stuff behind this, folks, and that is what is most concerning. We are not out of the woods yet, just because that first round of severe weather went through, and we could see as that radar picture begins to fill in a little bit, more heavy rain, possibly some more severe weather could be on the way over the next 3 hours or so. As we head into this evening and the overnight hours, that threat of heavier rain shifts farther to the south, and that includes Madison. It all depends on where that cold front sets up, so we'll have more details on that in your first alert forecast in just a few minutes.
All right, Dave, thank you. Governor Walker just declared a state of emergency for many counties, including Juneau, La Crosse, Monroe, and Vernon. And more rain is on the way for many towns that are already dealing with heavy floodwaters.
And Jamie Perez was in the middle of this, and she joins us now live. Looks like she's still in the middle of it, tracking the heaviest hit flood areas. Jamie?
That's right. Well, we're not in Juneau County right now, but we spent literally all day there, and it's so bad there. The flooding is so bad that we had to move out of that area. So that's really a testament that if you're out there, do not drive, stay indoors. There are actually a lot of people out there that were trapped at local gas stations that didn't have any power because the highway was blocked going both ways. The flood is already so bad around that area. Like I said, we took some video earlier of a huge sinkhole. Take a look at this. That area is just outside of Reedsburg. Now, they're estimating that's about 100 feet long, 30 feet wide, and about 5 feet deep. Many of the roads going around the town of Wanawak may not have sinkholes like that, but they are still undrivable. We took several roads around the town. Many of them are inaccessible with how deep the floodwaters go across the road. Some people with larger cars were able to make it through that area, but with more rain coming, it is not advised to drive through those areas. The sinkhole in particular, and they're not sure when that major roadblock is going to be fixed.
Well, at this time, we're going to try to maintain everything until after the rain lets up and the waters start to go down. Then that way we can assess it a lot better to get a better idea of what we need to do to fix it.
So as of right now, people can't take this road into Wanawak?
Absolutely not. And when you see road closed signs, they mean road closed for a reason. So try to avoid that at all costs.
In nearby towns, the flooding is especially bad. My photographer and I did end up making it into Wanawak. As you could see there, they have about 20 feet of water flooded there on West Street right now. 12 homes there have been evacuated so far, and with more rain coming tonight, it's only going to get worse. Coming up tonight at 6, we were talking to local residents who couldn't get out of town, couldn't get in town, so we'll hear some more of their perspective of how they are just essentially trapped, and that's going to be coming up tonight at 6. So if, like I said, if you are driving, stop, because you probably can't get to where you're going anyways. Stay inside. I'll join you tonight at 6 with more updates.
All right, Jamie Perez and photojournalist Jim Rader out in the middle of all this. Be safe out there, Jamie. Thank you. And right now, the eastbound lanes of the interstate near Mauston are closed due to that flooding, according to the Department of Transportation. Officials said traffic is being detoured from New Lisbon, east on Highway 80 to Necedah, east on Highway 21 to Coloma, and then south on the interstate 39 to Portage. Baraboo staying alert at this hour. A flash flood warning is in effect there.
And rains are starting to come through. Our Amy Reed is keeping an eye on things there for us this evening. Hi, Amy. How's it looking?
Hey, yeah, it just started to rain again about a half hour ago, and that was after, it's starting to lighten up now, but that was after more rain earlier this afternoon. It felt like it was coming down in sheets. It filled up gutters on the side of the road, and this caused a bit of a hazard for drivers. Some parts looked like the water was going completely across. Remember, you're not advised to drive through water like this because you can't tell how deep it is, and it doesn't take much to stall or overpower your car. Right now, it just looks like a big rainstorm hit the area, but we're still keeping an eye on it. There's still a flood warning and a flash flood warning in place, and potential thunderstorms that could come through. Now with those, it's hard to predict exactly how much rain will come with it, so it's best to just stay aware and be ready. Back to you.
All right, Amy Reed live in Baraboo tonight. Amy, thank you.
Thank you, Amy. With northern counties like Monroe and Vernon getting almost a foot of rain, Sauk County is looking upstream and getting ready for a delayed reaction of flooding on the Baraboo River. Sauk County Emergency Management predicts the river will begin to peak Thursday, gaining more than 10 feet of water in just a couple of days. Officials say houses and businesses along the Baraboo River in Laval down to North Freedom and Baraboo will experience flooding and will need to begin preparing for it now. There are several highways closed because of flooding after several inches of rain in Sauk and Adams County overnight. Estimated rainfall amounts of 5 to 11 inches, as Dave was saying, have already fallen from Wisconsin Dells westward to just south of La Crosse. Parts of County Road G, Golden Avenue, County Road XX, County Road H, and Highway 33 are all closed due to the flooding. Adams County officials ask anyone with flood damage to report it to Adams County Emergency Management. The number is 339-4248. And we have a full list of road closures as well as that number, if you didn't get a chance to write it down, on our website, channel3000.com.
And cleanup efforts are underway in La Crosse County after hundreds of people in Coon Valley, south of La Crosse, were evacuated overnight as those floodwaters rose above 5 feet. Coon Creek, which is usually about 10 feet wide, swelled on the west side of the village as rain poured in overnight. Basements and first floors of some homes in the surrounding area quickly flooded. The fire department went door to door to rescue people. Now the Vernon County Sheriff's Office, the Coon Valley Police, and the fire department as well are all assisting residents with their cleanup efforts. More to come on News 3 at 5. Up next, a family demanding justice after a district attorney announced he will not be charging the woman accused of killing their loved one.
And how fans across the country are remembering the Queen of Soul in her hometown of Detroit.
Not a lot of movement today on Wall Street. The Dow up just 14. The Nasdaq climbs a dozen. The S&P ticking up less than a point. We'll be right back. Family and friends of Robert Thomas Jr. are protesting outside the Rock County Courthouse today.
This comes after the Rock County District Attorney David O'Leary chose not to press charges against the woman accused of stabbing Thomas to death. Rock County reporter Adam Duxter spoke with the family today and joins us from our bureau at the Janesville Gazette with why they're protesting. Adam?
Well, the family of Robert Thomas Jr. recently lost a brother, a son, and a friend. Today, they're demanding change.
What do we want? Justice! What do we want? Now!
For the family of Robert Thomas Jr., processing the death of a loved one has not been easy.
It's tearing everybody apart. Like, we weren't prepared for this, basically.
Thomas died last week after being stabbed by 20-year-old Serena Stone. Police initially arrested Stone on suspicion of reckless homicide. But after reviewing Thomas's history of domestic violence against Stone, District Attorney David O'Leary decided not to press charges, saying there would be more than enough evidence to prove that Stone had acted in self-defense. Now friends and family are making their voices heard.
The family is losing this opportunity to have its day in court. How can you take that away from the family?
Coming today to the Rock County Courthouse to protest the decision.
How can a district attorney speak for 12 when he's only one?
My brother, was a type of person that was, real caring. Like, he had his flaws just like everybody else, but if he knew you, no matter what race or nothing like that was, he loved you, and he would make you, he would brighten your day.
And now claiming race was a major factor in Stone not being charged.
I don't care if he was white, black, purple, green, man from Mars. No one has the right to take another life from another person.
Today, I tried to get in touch with that district attorney, David O'Leary. His office told me they have no comment at this time, but they are going to be meeting with the family of Robert Thomas later this week. I also tried to get in touch with Serena Stone and her family. I was not able to do that. This is a case we're going to be continuing to follow as it develops.
Adam Duxter in our Rock County Bureau. Adam, thanks.
People from all over the country are descending on Detroit to pay their respects to Aretha Franklin. The Queen of Soul died earlier this month, and now her hometown is honoring her in a big way, starting with a public visitation today. The doors at the Charles H. Wright Museum of African American History will be open to the public for 12 hours today and tomorrow, part of a 4-day celebration of Franklin's life and legacy in her hometown.
I think the impact that Miss Franklin had is love, caring, sharing. When you fall down, get back up.
Free tickets for a tribute concert Thursday night sold out within minutes. At least 19 artists have been tapped to perform during her funeral Friday, including Faith Hill, Stevie Wonder, and Jennifer Hudson. Speakers include former President Bill Clinton.
Let's head out to the weather patio now. Dave Caulfield is watching the forecast, and what can we expect tonight, Dave?
Well, especially for Madison, Susan and Eric, I just glanced to my left, and there are some very ominous clouds coming in from the west and southwest. That is that line of thunderstorms I was talking about earlier in the show, starting to fill into radar at this hour. The first round of showers and storms now crossing over Lake Michigan. We do have some severe thunderstorm warnings in Iowa. Still a severe threat for some of us, and obviously the flash flooding threat is greatest closer to the Dells and across south central Wisconsin after just an absolute deluge of rain has fallen over the past 24 to 36 hours. Again, that severe thunderstorm watch goes until 9 this evening for much of the area, and we're noticing that line of showers and storms start to fill in a little bit, and latest forecast guidance suggests that that line will come through right around 6 or 6:30, or at least start to come through, but raindrops could be falling at any minute with these clouds forming right to my left, and I actually felt a couple of raindrops as well. Local storm reports really located right around the Dells, south central Wisconsin, as that tornado-warned storm moved to the east over the past couple of hours or so. We were on continuous coverage for about an hour and a half to 2 hours as that tornado-warned part of that first line of showers and thunderstorms formed. Also, lots of wind damage, flooding, a major concern with 48-hour precipitation estimates over a foot easily for a lot of us. Severe weather bulletins. We do have that severe thunderstorm watch until 9. Flash flood watches go until tomorrow morning, and we're watching that next line of showers and thunderstorms as it has formed a little bit farther to the south and west, meaning that Madison could be in the sights of these storms, especially over the next few hours. So a live look at downtown Madison, not looking too bad right now, but the almanac, you can see those clouds actually. That's our WISC-TV sky cam. So that leading edge of the next round of thunderstorms starting to make its way into the west side of Madison today. High of 83 before all the hullabaloo started this afternoon. Normal high is 78, so a little bit warmer than normal, but we just have so much humidity over us. We have what we call precipitable water, so basically think about how much water the atmosphere can let fall to the ground. We have numbers that we don't usually see. We see these numbers of over 2 to 2.5 about once or twice every 10 years. So this is what we're dealing with, and part of the reason why we're getting such a absolute colossal amount of rain across south central and southern Wisconsin. So future track showing this line of showers and storms moving through, starting to get to Madison shortly, but some heavy rain possible into this evening and tonight. Even more heavy rain possible into the overnight hours of Wednesday. But once we get to Wednesday morning, we can all take a collective sigh of relief. We'll be cooling off, maybe a little bit cloudy, but really no heavy rain threat for Wednesday and Thursday, which is welcome news. Our latest precipitation potential model is anywhere from 1.5 to 2 inches of rain, but that doesn't really mean much for the areas that have already seen a foot to even 1.5 feet, not out of the realm of possibility with how much rain has fallen over the last couple of days. But we'll look for the heavy rain threat to spread a little bit farther south over the next couple of hours. So that includes tonight, scattered showers and thunderstorms, heavy rain possible. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy and cooler. We get rid of the rain chances. Thankfully, the prayers being answered there with temperatures in the 60s. Your 7-day forecast showing we'll stay in the 70s Thursday, then more rain possible Friday and Saturday. We get a break on Sunday, but starting on Labor Day, we're in the mid-80s with more chances for showers and storms. A quick look at your first alert traffic update. As you could imagine, lots of roads being closed because of flooding and also other storm damage across the area. All of those construction barriers you see are some sort of road closure, whether it's due to flooding, whether it's due to something else across the area. And we actually just got a stretch of I-90 to be closed as we speak, and that goes through the Dell, is actually pretty close to Dane County when you consider just how close that road is to where we are right now on the map, and lots of closures in the Madison area as well. The Beltline not looking too great, although closer to Stoughton Road and the interstate not looking too bad, but we're noticing those normal delays for this time. Verona Road to John Nolan, very slow eastbound, average speed of around 15 miles per hour. Guys, we'll send it back to you.
All right, Dave, thanks so much.
Thanks, Dave. Ahead on News 3 at 5. Are you happy with your pay? It turns out a lot of people are. We'll look at the results of a new study. That's just ahead at 5. Welcome back. The job market is the strongest it's been in years.
And that may be one reason why more people say they're happy with the money that they're making. John Schumo reports.
Not all employees feel overworked and underpaid. Tracy Elise Poole is an attorney.
I think that I could make an argument that I could be paid more, but overall, I'm pretty satisfied with what I get compensated.
She's not alone. In a new survey from global staffing firm Robert Half, 49% of professionals feel they are paid fairly. 46% believe they are underpaid, and 5% actually think they are overpaid.
It tells me that the companies are really taking care of them.
Paul McDonald is Robert Half's senior executive director.
Employers are starting to get on board with, we better pay appropriately in order to retain and to attract the workers.
Men are more likely than women to say they are paid fairly. So are people making $100,000 or more a year. You look like a guy who is overpaid.
Oh, clearly. No, I'm paid fairly for the job I do right now.
Arthur Banach works in a coffee shop and receives benefits.
I get respect from the owner, and that goes a long way.
Banach lives in New York, where only 37% of workers say they are underpaid. Miami, Dallas, LA, and San Francisco had similar results.
There's been a war on talent in those cities for the past 4 or 5 years.
McDonald says if you believe you deserve a raise, ask for one.
Don't go to your boss when you're in an emotional state. Number one. Number two, have your facts and figures for you feeling underpaid. Have you done your research?
One survey found most employees who asked for more money got it. John Schumo, CBS News, New York.
Professionals in San Diego, Austin, and Nashville are the most likely to feel underpaid in the survey.
Another check of your forecast when we return. Stay with us.
Not out of the woods yet.
Yeah, the heavy rain threat and severe weather threat far from over for southern Wisconsin and south central Wisconsin for that matter. We've noticed the radar fill in a little bit along that secondary line of showers and storms. Hopefully Madison escapes the brunt of that, but there is the chance of some more heavy rain into Dane County by the time we get to 6 or 7 this evening. Day planner for tomorrow looking a lot better. We lose the rain chances. Highs right around 70 degrees.
Rejoin us. We'll have more updates in 30 minutes on News 3 at 6. Stay tuned for the CBS Evening News.